Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some new goodies from Marc Jacobs that we're going to be playing with. These products are from the new Coconut Fantasy collection. I have this bronzer here. This is the Tantastic Bronzer. It retails for $49. It is a limited edition. It came out, I think, last year, and they re-released it with this collection. Then we have the Fantascene Eye-Conic eyeshadow palette. This also retails for $49, and the shades in here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the swatches. We have Flesh, Covets, Fantasy, She Said, Meet Ya, 4 More, On the Dance Floor. I didn't even realize until I got the editorial palette and somebody mentioned, hey, it makes a sentence, and it totally does. You got all the shades back here and it makes a cute little sentence. I like that little touch. On the Sephora website, that palette is not listed as limited edition. Then we have this powder here called the Finish Line Perfecting Coconut Setting Powder. This retails for $44 and it does not say that it's limited edition. Online it says it's a creamy, loose setting powder with 5 forms of coconut and cocoa butter to set makeup with a soft matte finish for up to 8 hours. Melts undetectably for a healthy and hydrated look, not dry or chalky. And then they also released a new shade of the Dewdrops. I have last year's, but I wasn't really interested in this one because it seemed like it was going to be too dark. The shade is Fantasy, and this is limited edition, so if you think this color will work for you, I loved the Dewdrops last year, so I would assume that it's the same formula. If you think that color will work, get your hands on it. All right, let's jump into the demo of these products, and then I'll give you guys my first impression thoughts at the end. I'm going to start off using this powder. It's the Finish Line Perfecting Coconut Setting Powder. I already have underneath my eye set, but nothing else. When you open it up, it has like that little mesh guy in there, and it looks rather yellow toned. I thought it was going to be invisible, but we'll see how it applies on the skin. I'm just going to take my Delium 974 and kind of tap in here and press it on the skin. Smells like coconuts. There is a slight hair of a color on my skin, but really nothing major, and it's setting it to a matte finish. I'm just taking the excess from my brush and working that onto my forehead. I'm sitting here drinking one of these, and it's just funny to me because like I have this taste in my mouth, and then I'm putting this powder on and this smell. It's just a whole lot of coconut. But the finish is very nice on the powder. It doesn't feel cakey, it doesn't feel dry, it doesn't look cakey. It's 100% matte though, like 100%. This feels so air light in your hand. Like it doesn't really have any weight to it at all, but it's so pretty. I'm gonna go in with the Tantastic Bronzer. You guys, I was not into bronzers like this, like in general, just I wasn't into bronzers, and I missed out on this, and then I really wanted it, so I was so happy that they came back out with it. I've never put this on my face before, so let's go ahead and do that. And again, coconut, but this one smells a little bit more beachy. It's a little stronger than I would like, but it's still not the butter bronzer, which that is just too much for me. Not bad, but I kind of wish it didn't have a smell at all. Zoeva 127. So I really like the color of this bronzer. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. It works really well for my skin tone. Blended out really nicely. It doesn't look patchy, it's smooth, so I'm liking it thus far. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my makeup, and then we will start on the eyes. I'm starting off with Flesh on a weighing gauze number 18. This is a very light shade. It's just gonna add a little hint of something right around the edges, so I'm popping this up right above the crease. Same brush, I'm taking Fantasy. I'm first applying it to the outer corner, and then I'm going to work it up as like a second transition shade. Same color right on the lower lash line with the MAC 221. Back in with that gauze number 18, I'm taking that gray shade, which is Covets. I'm working this into the crease and the outer V, just to create a little bit of dimension. Same shade, lower lash line. Now this gold shade I had an issue with, so I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. It ends up all over my face. So this is a Delium 777. And I just feel like it wasn't putting down the product, like not the brush, but like the eyeshadow wasn't reacting right. So I switched from this and went in with my MAC 242. And it works a little bit better, but honestly, I've got to use this shade wet. So now I've got it wet. I don't know, it just creates a whole lot of fallout. And I feel like it's working better now than it did there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this shade. Perhaps it had a film or something over it that I needed to get off, because like, if you look here, this isn't nearly as opaque and bright as it is on this side, so maybe it just had some kind of something I had to get through. 4 more on a Goss number 4. That was not intentional. I'm popping this on the outer corner and then just working it slightly up into the crease. Taking that same shade and kind of tapping it with a MAC 212 right at the lash base. And then again on the lower lash line with a Linear 3D from Artis. MAC 228, and I'm going to use the highlighter that I used on my face for my inner corner and brow arch. And then I'm going to go add some lashes and I'll be right back. Makeup is done. All I did was add on some Kiss Ritzy Lash and I put my Via Veneto on the inner rim. Everything else will be listed down below, but let's get into my thoughts. And I'm going to start with the palette because it's fresh in my brain. I really like these 2 matte shades a lot. I could use these top 3 just as an all over eye look. Just doing this, but adding the gray shade all over the lid. I just think it'd be really pretty, but I wanted to incorporate this gold. And as I said in the tutorial, this gold shade, when I used it on this eye, it just did not play well. So it must have had some kind of layer over the top that made it more difficult for this eye, because it definitely worked better on here. So happy about that. I like this palette. I don't love it. I don't think it's a must-have. If you really like the shades in here, I would say go ahead and grab it. But for me, I'm not going to reach for this too often, but it is pretty. The bronzer, I'm so happy to finally have this in my collection because I really regretted not getting it last year. The shade, beautiful, blends out really well. I like the product of itself, but I gotta say, I really want to close this because I don't like the smell. The more I have it open, the more it's bothering me, and I know a lot of people love this smell. Even the butter bronzer, everybody loves that, and I just don't. It makes me want to gag. It's just a little too intense. I want it to be knocked down a notch, so I'm probably gonna leave this open and see if I can get a little bit of it out. The powder is not as intense, so this doesn't bother me. I think that if you are oily, you are going to love this. If you like things like the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder or just matte powders in general, I think that you will enjoy this. However, if you are really dry, I wouldn't suggest picking this up. It says that it's hydrating. I feel like it's pretty darn matte, and I am a combination skin type, but still a great product nonetheless. Now this powder though, you like how I sneak Hourglass in here? You just wait for this because this is making me real happy. But anywho, that is it, you guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking about these products. Are you picking them up? Are you interested in them at all? And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.